I'm going to explain the CAASPP to you. I'm not sure how you're supposed to say it. I'm going to call it the CAASPP. This stands for California Assessment of Student Performance and Progress. So what is the CAASPP? In 2010, the Department of Education funded the Smarter Balanced Assessment Consortium to make a new assessment system aligned with Common Core standards. They expected this to be implemented in the 2014-2015 school year. So as a result, January 1st, 2014, the CAASPP replaced the STAR testing that we all grew up with. The SBAS, which stands for the Smarter Balanced Assessment System, is a system that the Smarter Balanced Assessment Consortium came up with. And this made the CAASPP a computer-based test in order to improve efficiency in administration of the test and also getting the results back quickly. So there are three parts of the Smarter Balanced Assessment System. First, what we are all familiar with is a summative assessment. This is what the STAR test used to be, an end-of-year assessment. However, this summative assessment measures student progress towards college and career readiness based on Common Core state standards. This test assesses English language arts in literacy and mathematics skills, and it is made up of a wide range of question types, unlike the STAR test, which was mostly multiple choice. Furthermore, this test has what are called PTs, or performance tasks. These are, and I'll quote, extended activities that measure a student's ability to integrate knowledge and skills across multiple standards, which is a key component of college and career readiness. This assessment is required for grades 3 through 8 and 11. However, there are alternative tests available based on students' IEPs, which stands for Individualized Education Program, or on their status as English learners. For example, if students have cognitive disabilities, they can be given an alternate test that is adjusted for their abilities, but is still based on Common Core standards. There's also a standards-based test only on English language arts that is available for students who only speak Spanish. The students who are allowed to take this test have to have been enrolled in a U.S. school for less than 12 months. There's also another summative assessment that goes along with this part of the SBAS. This is a science assessment. It's for grades 5, 8, and 10. It's known as the California Standards Test. This assessment is based on California science content standards that were adopted in 1998. And that's because the next generation science standards are not available yet to be assessed. This test is completely multiple choice, and it is paper-based rather than computer-based. There are also alternatives for this test. Students' IEPs determine whether they should take the CMA, which is a California Modified Assessment, which is modified by giving students only 3 multiple choice options rather than 4. For more severe cognitive disabilities, students can take the CAASPP, which is the California Alternative Performance Assessment, which is made up of only 8 performance tasks. Results for the summative assessments, they are explained through ALDs, which is achievement level descriptors. These are descriptors such as standard exceeded, standard met, standard nearly met, and standard not met. Another part of the results is the early assessment program. This program came from a collaboration between the California Department of Education, the California State University System, California Community College System, and the State Board of Education. They came together to address the increasing number of college freshmen that need remediation in English language arts and math. The way the program works is that the CSU system gives 11th grade students, their families, and their schools early signals about their readiness for college coursework. This program helps high schools with their college prep programs and also lets individual students know their college preparation status. So let's move on to part 2 of the Smarter Balanced Assessment System. This is the interim assessments, which are assessments used throughout the school year to gauge student progress in grades kindergarten through 12th grade. So their progress toward achieving the skills that they will be tested on in the summative assessment. These assessments also gauge the effectiveness of the Common Core and how it's reaching the students. The results of interim assessments are used by educators and administrators to make adjustments in instruction if necessary. So there are 2 types of interim assessments. The first is ICAs, or interim comprehensive assessments. These are designed the same way as the summative assessments. They're computer-based with a wide variety of question types. Students can only take ICAs 3 times throughout the school year. The other type of interim assessment are IABs, or interim assessment blocks, and students can take this assessment an unlimited number of times throughout the year. This assessment has smaller sets of targets to test that provide more detail in the areas students excel or need to work on. This is also a computer-based test used to adjust instruction if necessary. Part 3 of the SBAS is the digital library. This is a database available to educators that collects resources based on subject and grade, intended to help educators formatively assess their students on a daily basis. These resources are developed, submitted, and reviewed by members of the Digital Library State Network of Educators. So this is basically a tool for teachers to use to assess their students' skills every day, and these resources are designed based on students' performance on the CAASPP. Here I've provided results from last year's CAASPP. I thought it would be interesting to look at since it's a brand new test. So let's look at that. In English Language Arts literacy, 56% of the 11th graders tested are ready or conditionally ready for college work, while in math, 29% are ready or conditionally ready. So those numbers are pretty low, especially in math. For English Language Arts literacy statewide in all grades, these are the ALDs, the achievement level descriptors. So 16% exceeded standard, 28% met standard, 25% nearly met standard, and 31% did not meet standard at all. For mathematics statewide in all grades, 14% exceeded standard, 19% met standard, 29% nearly met standard, and 38% did not meet the standard. Here are my sources, the 2015 results that I just read, and all the information I just provided on the CAASPP. Just as a quick conclusion, these less than satisfactory scores are disappointing, but teachers and students are in a transition period, between teaching and learning the new Common Core standards and then being assessed on those standards in a whole new setting that children aren't used to. So once the standards and the CAASPP has become more established, we're very likely to see much better results, especially if we compare them to the results we got from No Child Left Behind and the STAR testing.